The British have always punched well above their weight. Their military and especially their navy have been dominant for hundreds of years. And it looks like now, looking at this, I stopped here specifically, this carrier strike group, it seems like they're really taking on this role again. They're expanding their navy. They're really putting a ton of effort and money into really building up the military again, really building up this navy, and they've always been known for their navy. Always, the historical videos that I've watched in the past, they have defeated so many countries in the past, and then you fast forward hundreds of years to today, and this is what we get. It seems like it's growing. I love the new aircraft carriers, this strike group, and let's just jump into this. This video is the UK military in 2022 and what is next. So let's see the technology, where they're at today, what's coming, and go from there. And here we go.
One certainty is that 2022 will see the military continuing to help the nation through the COVID crisis. Ambulances in places like Wales will be driven by trained military personnel, helping to free up NHS staff. Vaccines will continue to be administered by men and women from all three services. And we've no idea how long that will continue, or indeed whether it might stop, only to return later in the year. The other certainty is that 2022 will continue and indeed increase the pace of change within the armed forces.
We've got to take a bit more risk to embrace technology in a much stronger way so that we're an even better armed forces to support this amazing nation. And then taking our people with us, saying that these changes are going to be exciting and they're the right thing to do, not that we stick with everything that we've currently got. And then also, whilst we're doing all that, looking after the here and now.
Love it. Always pushing the bounds too, especially with technology and growing things such as this. The military, I feel like do help, unless maybe you go way out of control, but it really helps the nation. And coming from the United States, there's a lot of pride in our military. We love it. We generally love what they do, how they do it. They'll help as relief. The NHS workers are getting relief, at least during the COVID time when it was more intense from service members. And they seem like they're doing an excellent job and to push the bounds like we see in this video.
Providing the defence for the nation that we already do.
The Royal Navy, of all the three services, has experienced a game-changing 2021, with carrier strike group operations successfully taking place. This year will see a further iteration of CSG, with both carriers playing a role. Yes. Work will continue on the Navy's programme of new ships, including the Type 26 frigate. The first-in-class HMS Glasgow is now rapidly taking shape. The build will also step up on the Type 31 frigate programme. The first steel was cut for the first Type 31 Venturer in September 21. 2022 for the Army is all geared around their Future Soldier programme, which grew from the integrated review into the military. We've already seen the Ranger Regiment unveiled. This year we'll see more implementation of those ideas, be that units remodelling to work as brigade combat teams, smaller, more self-sufficient outfits, or continuing to modernise the fighting vehicle fleet, which by 2030 will see Ajax, Boxer and Challenger 3 in place alongside remotely operated vehicles.
And the tanks, the Challenger 3, I've always loved tanks. I always thought if I ever joined the military, that was, as a boy, my dream, to anything in or around a tank. And the Challenger 2 is it? But the Challenger tank is beautiful looking. I love the tank, and I've seen in the past rankings of the tanks of different countries, and the Challenger is always near the top. Just look at that beast. Look at that monster. I love it.
Vehicles.
We've really spent the bulk of this year working through the conclusions and the implications for the Army of the future. And I think we were very pleased earlier this month to be able to reveal to the Army what it was going to mean to our structures, our career pathways, and how we were going to recruit and train the Army to deal with a very different form of land warfare and competition associated with the information and the digital age. And I think that seems to have captured the imagination of the Army. And of course, people now are interested in what it's going to mean for them personally, and that's the business for 2022.
In early 2022, we'll witness the Army People Plan being published, which is designed to give individuals more choice over their career path, allowing soldiers to apply to change their role, cap badge or trade online. Change is very much in the air for the Royal Air Force, with the continued rolling out of the Astra programme, designed to prepare the organisation for the digital future.
There's an enormous amount to look forward to in 2022. We've got a really exciting programme of development in the Royal Air Force as we bring in some really fabulous new equipment. We're developing Space Command on behalf of Defence and on behalf of the United Kingdom, and we've got some really interesting people programs as well, changing the way that we look after people, what we offer people in terms of their careers and their opportunities, and continuing the progression and building the next generation Royal Air Force. It's a program that we comes together and we call it Astra, but it is all about building the Royal Air Force of 2040.
That's great.
And of course, the usual business of the military keeps on going, with missions like Op-Shader continuing, commitments like Estonia still underway, and the UK continuing to support UN missions such as Mali with personnel and expertise. And the military is planning to be front and centre at 2022's big national event.
The most significant moment next year is the Queen's Jubilee.
Which I reacted to the video of the flyby, which was phenomenal. I got a portion of it, I guess. It was a couple minutes, but it was from the cockpit of the Red Arrows. They show the Lancaster bomber, they show the Hurricane, and of course the one and only Spitfire, one of the best planes of World War II, in my opinion. But it is generally known as, a spectacular aircraft. But this really shows, going back to my original comment, the British have always punched well above their weight, and this is why they keep up with the innovation. They don't let things just kind of die out or get old. They stay up on these, practices and technology and pushing forward in AI and drone. They're really pushing the bounds, and I think that's a very good and productive thing to do for countries. Maybe not all of them, but countries, such as the UK, as well as, once again, the pride.
And I think that will be a wonderful moment for the nation to come together next June with a whole series of events in the lead up to that, and then a big celebration, a national celebration, which of course the Armed Forces and the Royal Air Force will be right at the heart of.
Finally, there's the big unknown for the year. How will some of the more unpredictable nations act, like Russia? There's been immense concern about their military build-up on the border with Ukraine.
So this is obviously a dated video, so this kind of will be an interesting little last snippet of this video.
Will 2022 see this situation deteriorate further, or will it just settle down, only for another hotspot to emerge elsewhere in the world? 2022 promises a lot of change, but also plenty of uncertainty. Tim Cooper, Forces News.
And that was that. These ending pictures are so good, these photographs. The F-35, and what's the aircraft carrier called? The HMS Queen Elizabeth II, perhaps? So it looks like here the HMS Queen Elizabeth and the HMS Prince of Wales, which is perfect. I think that's phenomenal. Just brings a smile to my face. The Prince of Wales, when's that's going to be done? Oh my goodness. Wait, commissioned in 2019. Look at that. I thought they only had the HMS Queen Elizabeth out. So let me know what you think. Once again, they've always done extremely well. They're a well-known force to be reckoned with. Also did a video on Argentina and the Falkland Islands. That was pretty good, and it shows the might back when Thatcher dropped her hammer on it. Let me know what you think. Did I hit the mark with, the pride and punching above their weight? Just the British, it seems like just like an American here, so proud of our military, have them in pretty high regards, and I'm assuming that it would be the same there. They've always done a great job, and I mean, we're the best of allies, kind of like brothers, pretty much, our countries. And I love to see this. I think it's a great move, and it's looking good. Look at this, it's looking great. So thank you for watching. Thanks for joining. I love these military type videos and historical videos. I'll see you in the comments, and have a good rest of your day.